8,000 nits, how an OLED phone screen outshines direct sunlight in 3 layers. Break time equals 0. 6 is slash sunlight throws back roughly 1,000 to 1,600 nits of glare, and a modern phone punches straight through it. Here's why this matters. A dim screen outdoors is just a mirror. You see your own face, not your messages. It wrecks HDR video and washes photos to gray. But here's the paradox this whole video resolves. Break time equals 0. 6 is slash the exact same panel has to hit 8,000 nits under the sun. Then drop to 1 or 2 nits in a dark room. Quiet enough that it won't sear your eyes at 2 a.m. Layer 1 is the pixel itself. Start with the screen you probably already own. In an LCD, one big lamp sits behind the whole panel and stays on the entire time. The colored pixels in front are just tiny shutters. They twist to block or let that light through. So even a black pixel is really a lit lamp being covered up. That's why blacks on those screens look more like dark gray. And light always leaks around the edges. OLED throws that lamp away. Break time equals 0. 6 is slash. Here's the trick that makes everything else possible. Each pixel is its own light source. Every dot on the screen is a speck of material that glows when you push electricity through it. An organic LED, which is where the O and the LED in OLED come from. Millions of them, each its own bulb. Now watch what that buys you. Turn a pixel off and it emits nothing at all. Zero light. True black, not dark gray. There's no lamp behind it to leak. And turn a pixel up. Brightness is just how hard you drive current through that one glowing speck. Push more current, it burns brighter. Push less, it dims. But if each pixel is its own bulb and brightness is just current, why can't the whole screen simply hit 8,000 nits at once? Layer 2 is where the 8,000 fine print lives. Because here's the catch nobody prints on the box. 8,000 nits is a peak, not an average. It's what a tiny sliver of the screen can hit. Think a 1 to 2% window. A single bright highlight in a dark photo. The sun glinting off a car in an HDR shot. Light one small patch that hard and you're fine. Try to light the whole screen that bright and physics sends the bill. Every one of those glowing pixels draws current, and current makes heat. A full white screen at 8,000 nits would pull enough power to drain your battery in minutes and cook the panel. So the phone simply won't do it. Full screen brightness tops out far lower. Roughly 1,000 to 2,000 nits sustained. So how does it hit 8,000 on that one highlight? A small controller chip, the driver, decides moment to moment how much current each region gets. When only a sliver needs to be blinding, the driver dumps extra current into just those pixels. The headroom for highlights. While holding the total power, the whole screen burns under a hard cap. Small bright region, it spends freely. Big bright region, it throttles back to protect the battery and the glass. Peak is a spotlight, not a floodlight. But something still has to decide when to reach for that spotlight at all. Layer 3 is the decision maker. Meet the sensor. Near the top of your phone sits a tiny ambient light sensor, reading the room dozens of times a second. That reading sets a target brightness in real time. You never touch the slider. Walk into direct sun and it unlocks high brightness mode, letting the panel run harder than its normal ceiling for a short burst. Walk into a dark room and it drops the screen to just 1 or 2 nits. Dim enough to read in bed without a punch to the eyes. And down at those dim levels, it often does something clever to hold color steady. Instead of feeding each pixel a trickle of current, which shifts the color and looks muddy, it flicks the pixels fully on and off very fast. Your eye blends the flicker into a smooth, low glow. That rapid on-off dimming is called PWM. So why does the phone insist on dimming itself when you might want it bright all the time? 3 reasons, all working at once. Your eyes, a screen at max in a dark room is genuinely painful. Your battery, brightness is the single hungriest thing a phone does. And the panel's own health, organic pixels held at full blast slowly age and can leave a faint ghost. Burn-in. Dimming isn't the phone being stingy. It's the phone protecting your eyes, your charge, and its own screen. Now stack the 3 layers and the whole thing clicks. Emissive pixels supply the light. Every dot its own bulb, no shared lamp to leak. Peak window driving concentrates that light. The driver chip dumps current into a tiny sliver, so one highlight can flare to 8,000 nits while the total power stays capped. An adaptive control decides how much of that to spend. The sensor reads the world and dials the panel from a sunlit blaze down to a 1 or 2 nit whisper. That's the answer to the paradox. One panel spans that enormous range because brightness here is per pixel and demand-driven. Nothing is on that doesn't need to be, and anything can go bright without dragging the rest along. So the honest way to read the number is this. 8,000 nits isn't a wall of light hitting your face. It's a brief, brilliant burst on a fraction of the screen. A spotlight the phone aims exactly where the image needs it, exactly when your eyes can take it. So keep the 3-layer model in your pocket. Self-lit pixels make the light, peak window driving concentrates it, and a sensor decides how much to spend. Next time your screen blinds you in the sun, you'll know exactly which layer just fired. And it opens 3 new questions. That faint ghost image called burn-in. the flicker some eyes can feel from PWM, and the tiny lenses now being stacked over each pixel to squeeze out more brightness for free. We'll open those boxes next.